Yo, what's going on, guys? You're watching Epic Pokemon TCG, and what I got for today, guys, is going to be another one of my theme deck videos. So basically, this is for new players that just want to get into the Pokemon TCG and they want to start out with a couple theme decks. Say you're at the store and you're like, you know what, I want to get me a couple Blastoise decks, and you don't know what to do with these decks. You don't really know like what a possible deck could be. Here you go. This is one of them. I actually really enjoyed playing this. Getting gameplays was kind of annoying. I'll be honest with you, just because of the fact that like my footage just kept screwing up. Like my laptop would freeze or something. My laptop's been on the hard struggle today. I actually lost the gameplay. I went against EV Snorlax Tag Team GX and I brought it down to 2 prize cards. Um, if you don't believe me, I'll put it on my Instagram. But anyway, so I actually really enjoyed playing this deck. I think it was a lot of fun, and I'm going to kind of talk about the deck and just kind of discuss why I went with certain things here. So we're going to start off with the main Pokemon. Something I want to note real quick here. Uh, I only used cards that were included in the theme deck, but I kind of cheated a little bit because I haven't the reverse War Turtle and then like a Blastoise that didn't come from the theme deck. I didn't feel like buying another theme deck on here or just whatever, so I just kind of went ahead and just I cheesed it a little, guys. So yeah, that's what I did there. But anyway, so we're gonna start off by taking a look at Blastoise. Blastoise has powerful Squall. Basically, what you can do is once during your turn for your attack, you look at the top six, and then you can attach as many water energies you find there to your Pokemon. So this is like, if you hit it, it's actually pretty good energy acceleration. You can just attach a bunch of energies down. You can miss. I don't know like what the correct energy count would be if you want to increase the energy count in this deck or what you might want to do. But when you hit it, it's actually really really nice. And then it has Hydro Tackle for 150, and this Pokemon does 30 to itself. So yeah, Blastoise is just able to dish out a decent amount of damage and then get you some energy acceleration, which is really nice. I run a 4-3-4. I feel like a 4-4-4 might be a little better, but that's just what I'm rocking in here. The Pokemon actually put in here with this, or just kept in here, I should say, are actually really cool. Starting off with Golduck. So Golduck is actually a very cool card because it has Amnesia, and it actually could have won me the game that you guys are going to see in the gameplay. I messed up a couple times in one turn, and it ended up costing me. But anyway, so Amnesia, it does 20, and you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, and that Pokemon can't use their attack during the next turn. So there's a lot of stuff in there like Zoroark and other Pokemon that, like, if you just take away that attack, it can really screw them up. And so Amnesia was actually pretty cool. And then Swim for 90 damage. If any of your opponent's Pokemon has any water energy attached to them, you may do 90 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon instead of their active. So, like if you're into a deck that runs like Rainbow Energy or something, then you can definitely use Swim. But I really liked Amnesia, so I decided to keep Golduck in here. Next up, we have Pidgeotto. So Pidgeotto is basically a lot like Acrobike, except instead of discarding the card, you put the card you don't want at the bottom of your deck. This is just a really good way for you to just kind of like get some extra consistency in your deck. I really liked Pidgeotto, and then Gust if you want to use it for 30. And then next up, we're going to take a look at Farfetch'd. Now, Farfetch'd at first, I wasn't really like too impressed with it. I was like, oh, you get to draw 2 cards, and it does 20, and then you can discard a tool. And then I got to thinking about it. Like, if you're able to hit a Pokemon that has like a Choice Band or a skateboard or whatever on it, you can essentially do 90 damage for 1 energy and discard a tool, which is actually pretty good. I think Farfetch is actually a pretty cool Pokemon. So yeah, just the fact that it can hit for 90 with 1 energy, I was like, okay, this is staying in here. On top of that, collect, you never know, that could come in handy. So I decided to keep a couple Farfetch'd in here. So that's going to do it for the Pokemon. Next up, we're going to talk about the supporter, starting off with Brock's Grid. I went ahead and just kept it at 2. Brock's Grid is actually really good for this deck just because of the fact of if a fully charged Blastoise goes down, you can Brock's Grid, shuffle in a full Blastoise line, and then 3 water energy. So not only are you going to get back your Blastoise line, but you're actually going to increase your consistency for your Squall, whatever the Blastoise ability is. You can just kind of increase the consistency for that, which is really nice. Next up, we have 4 Copycat. I was like, do I want to run 4 Copycat or do I want to run 4 Howl with 3 Copycat? I don't know what I want to do. So I just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going to go with the 4 Copycat just because it can just kind of refresh your hand. I personally prefer Lily or Tate and Liza. That's just my personal preference there. Just because sometimes Copycat, you can only Copycat for like 3 or 4 cards, and that's usually not going to help you out too much. But I decided to go with 4 of that. And then the deck actually includes 2 Cynthia. So if you get 2 of the theme decks, that means you get 4 Cynthia. So you get what is my opinion the best draw supporter in the game right off the bat. So 4 Cynthia are going to be in this deck. This is a really really nice supporter. Shuffle your hand to your deck and draw 6. And then if we run 3 Howl, I just decided for 3 Howl just because it just gets you 3 cards. That was just kind of like, whatever. I'll just put in 3 Howl just because. And then two Pokemon Fan Club, just to search out your Pokemon. I would prefer probably swapping out the Squirtle in this Steam Deck for the other one that allows you to basically give it free retreat costs if you have a stadium in play, and then running Professor Elm's lecture over this card. Just that way you can like search out for more Pokemon. And then we run two Professor Kukui. You never know when 20 extra damage might come in clutch. That and you get to draw a couple cards is really nice. And then as for the ball cards, I went with three Nest Ball and three Timer Ball. I actually get super unlucky with Timer Ball in the gameplay you guys are about to see. And then we run two Switch. I thought two Switch actually seemed really good for this deck. Blastoise has three retreat costs, so Switch is actually pretty handy. And then we have 14 Water Energy to round out the deck. So yeah, honestly, like the cards I would include to make this better, obviously would be Rare Candy. That immediately jumps to mind. I would 100% try to get Rare Candy if you want to play this deck. I'm actually going to try to make a deck profile on this deck, just because I really like Blastoise and I want to see what I can do with it. Choice Band definitely comes to mind. I mean, Jirachi, the Jirachi from Team Up would be pretty good. That's kind of an expensive card right now. Uh, I mean, I already went over Squirtle and Professor Elm's lecture. I just hit my mic. Jesus, I hit my mic so much this video. And then of course like supporters like Lily, Guzma, and just honestly just like cards that are going to increase your consistency more than the ones that are already in here. That would be the ones I would recommend. But nonetheless, this deck was actually a lot of fun. I feel like this is actually probably going to be the most fun I'm going to have doing these videos with this deck, just because it's a total blast to play, pun intended. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop to the gameplay, guys. Hope you enjoy. If you do, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, and let's get right to it. Alrighty, it is time for the gameplay here, guys. So, little note here. I was playing with my puppy when I was playing this, so yeah, just a little disclaimer here. I still blame her for the misplay. I'm just kidding. It was totally my fault. But so in this gameplay, I'm going to be facing off against Blaze Falon and the gang. Jesus, I really need someone to like sit me down and just look at me in the eye and just help me and tell me how to pronounce that Pokemon's name. The Gandil, the Poipo evolution. Yeah, I'm gonna be facing off against that deck. So I actually opened pretty well. I opened with a Pokemon Fan Club and a Nest Ball in hand, so that means I'm able to grab a couple Squirtle. And my usual go-to is two Squirtle and a Pidgey. I feel like right here maybe I should have went for a Psyduck instead of the Pidgey, as you'll see here in a second, just because I have the Golduck in my hand. But it actually doesn't matter here in a minute. And my opponent is actually going to open with a Alolan Grimer. So right now in the game, I don't really know what my opponent is playing, because a lot of decks run Alolan Muck, or they'll like throw in the random Grimer with the Ditto too. So that way they have other options for Ditto. But we see an Ultra Ball come down. So I see Fire Energy, so that's kind of narrowing down kind of what I'm expecting. But I just see a Ditto, so I'm still like, all right, am I playing Charizard? Am I playing um, Flareon? Like, what am I playing against? We see a Marshadow come down, and he actually Marshadows me into a somewhat decent hand. I actually like this hand a lot more than the other one I was sitting on. So we see Mysterious Treasure come down, and I'm like, all right, Mysterious Treasure, Fire Energy, it has to be Blaze Falon. And I see Tapu Lele come out, so I'm like, all right, my opponent is really keeping the secrecy here, because I don't know what I'm playing against yet. I have a feeling of what it might be, but I don't know yet. But my opponent is actually going to be able to turn one Lily, which is really unfortunate that this deck doesn't have Lily. However, including a theme deck with Cynthia and Lily is kind of silly, silly Lily. All right, we got to stop with the cringe fest. But my opponent does grab Poiple there, so yeah, I see the Ultra Space. I think that's what it's called. Whatever the Ultra Beast Stadium is. Plays that down. I was like, okay, so I am playing against Blaze Falon Nag thing. So yeah, oh my god, I hit my mic. I apologize. I'm not used to this mic being this close to my face. So right here, I'm just gonna attach energy to my Farfetch'd. I'm just gonna draw a couple cards here after I Cynthia, and I Cynthia into some pretty good stuff. I'm able to evolve one of my Squirtles into Wartortle, and that means also we'll be able to get a Blastoise next turn if my opponent doesn't Guzma it up and knock it out. You don't really realize how much you love Guzma until you don't have it, unfortunately. But nonetheless, my hand is actually pretty solid. My hand's pretty good. I'm sitting on a copycat, and I'm looking at my opponent's hand, and it's just gigantic. So I'm more than likely going to be getting a huge copycat next turn, which is really nice. And my opponent actually evolves into the Alolan Muck, and he's going to search out the Blacephalon. So yeah, my opponent's getting a little set up here. I'm not too worried just yet, because it's super early in the game, and really the only thing I need to do is just hit one good Blastoise, and I can easily knock out one of those Blacephalons. Plus, he just is kind of sitting there with that Alolan Muck and stuck in the active spot, so really it just becomes a matter of who, just wants to kind of strike first. My opponent is going to hit a Cynthia. That's pretty unfortunate, but still, I'm really looking at I'm able to hit a decent um, copycat next turn, hopefully. So he's gonna play Mysterious Treasure down, and I gotta tell you guys, like I really enjoyed this deck. I can't stress how much I enjoyed it. I know I said it a bunch when I was talking about it and just kind of breaking the deck down and talking about like numbers and stuff, but this was a lot of fun. Like this was actually just a really chill deck that could actually compete against some of the other decks, which was really cool. And I played against like a number of ones. I played against Snorlax EVs, you guys saw. Played against this one. Then I played against the Charizard deck. That was a just massacre. I just absolutely stomped that thing into the ground. But right here, I'm going to be able to evolve into a Blastoise, which is really, really nice. I get the Pidgeotto out, so I kind of have like an Acrobike, Energy Acceleration, Collect thing on the field. So I'm going to go ahead and Pidgeotto grab my Water Energy, and that means my Farfetch is going to go to the bottom of my deck. So yeah, I'm getting pretty set up here. I'm actually getting pretty set up. I'm sitting pretty on some good stuff. I'm going to play Timer Ball down, and I flip two tails because Timer Ball hates me, and I hate Timer Ball. So right here, I'm just kind of opting like, do I want to play the Cynthia first? Do I want to do the ability first? And I actually hit two energies with the ability, which is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those both to Blastoise, which is very, very handy. I really like this ability. I think that ability is absolutely awesome. Just, some energy acceleration is really nice. So we're going to go ahead and play the Cynthia here. And I'm really enjoying this series, guys. Just like really chill Pokemon, just getting to have some fun, getting to relax and take it easy. And right here, I'm like, do I want a Farfetch'd or do I want a Timer Ball or do I want a Blastoise? What I want to do, I go ahead and opt just to get Farfetch'd out of there. So I want to go ahead and take the prize lead. And I flipped two more tails on Timer Ball. So that is four tails back to back. Can't make it up. But I'm going to go ahead and knock out the Alolan Muck here. Unfortunately, Blastoise does take 30 damage whenever he does attack, which is pretty unfortunate, but still nonetheless, energy acceleration along with 150 damage, that's pretty good. It needs some type of drawback. But my opponent is going to promote the Blacephalon to the active spot. So yeah, the gameplay's starting to kick off here. This is where the two decks are going to be kind of, finally hitting each other. And I really wanted to win this matchup. I don't know what it is. I just hit my mic again. All right, I'm keeping my hands down. All right, I'm keeping my hands down. I currently have a Chewini passed out in my lap. She finally quit crying and came over here and fell asleep. I'm guessing she was crying because she was extremely tired. You know, wonders of having a 6-week-old puppy. But basically, my opponent, that Heat Factory, is just going to kind of sit there because I have no counter stadiums in this theme deck. So, yeah, that Heat Factory is just going to sit there. But my opponent is going to use Charged Up. That means he gets to attach some energy to his thingy. Which will actually in turn increase Blacephalon's damage, which is really, really nice. That's how this deck kind of works out. You got the GX attack that allows you to take a prize. You got the first attack that allows you to just kind of do some special conditions. And then you have, I think it's Mind Blown is what it's called. I think you discard energies and then you get or send them to Lost Zone and then you do damage for however many you did. So he's going to send 3. He's going to, return KO my poor little Blastoise. My poor, poor baby. So I'm going to promote Wartortle. Now I need to knock this thing out back or else I'm going to be in trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and Nest Ball. I'm going to grab a Squirtle because I need to try to get another Blastoise set up. I'm really feeling like 4 Wartortle might be the way to go with this deck. Just Rare Candy would help out a lot too. No joke. There would be a lot of moments in this game where Rare Candy would just be huge. So I'm going to go ahead and use the ability, and I unfortunately miss, which sucks. And that's not good. So I'm gonna go ahead Pidgeotto here, grab a timer ball so I can flip a couple more. My opponent does a smiley face, which I kind of was like, all right, I'm kicking your ass, dude. So yeah, that I don't know why that made me mad. That's such a silly thing to get mad at. So basically, I have to switch, bring up Farfetch'd, and I'm just gonna have to, leave poor little Farfetch'd out for the dogs. I'm gonna grab another Squirtle because I really need to start getting some Blastoise back out on the field. Because I'm fully expecting that Blastoise on my bench to go down. I know he's gonna be able to Goose Mode up and just KO it. So, this is not looking good for me. It's not looking good at all. But basically, if he does knock out my Blastoise, realistically, all I need to do is just get one more knockout, and I'm back in the game. Or I need to knock out one of those Blazefalons that he's going to play down. I think he plays out another one this turn, if I'm not mistaken. But I just need to take one more knockout on a GX, and I'm back in the game. And the cool thing is he plays Cynthia, so that means my Blastoise is going to be safe. So I'm fully expecting to return KO here after he knocks out my poor little Farfetch, avenge it a little bit. But we're gonna see charged up. I can't speak, Jesus. Charged up is gonna be able to play down a fire energy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like out of all the decks I possibly could have played that are popular in the Pokemon TCG, this one probably would have been the more favorable matchup just because his main attacker is fire, and of course my attacker is water, and of course I'm taking two when he's taking one. So, it's kind of in my favor. I'm still kicking myself that I made that freaking misplay. So my opponent is going to take out my poor little Farfetch'd. You did serve me well. You collected once, I think, and then you were able to soak up some damage. So basically right here with Blastoise, I'm going to attach, if I attach the energy, I just need to hit one energy with the ability, which seems pretty doable. And the big issue I'm having is when do I want to do my ability? I don't know if it's better to do it after your supporter, before your supporter, whichever one. So the cool thing is I did draw into another War Turtle, which is really handy. My opponent has I have 5 cards in hand, so honestly, using Copycat right now just wouldn't be good. So I'm going to go ahead and offer the Brock's Grit. I'm able to get back a Blastoise line along with 3 energy, which will, like I said in the breakdown, will increase my chances of hitting energy. And I actually hit 3 here, which is beautiful. So I'm able to attach energy here and then attach 2 energies to my War Turtle. So that means I have 2 attackers basically set up next turn because I do have Blastoise in hand along with 2 energy and a supporter for next turn. So I'm sitting pretty right now. So I'm able to do 300 damage to that Blacephalon. I'm giving a gigantic middle finger to that dude for sending a smiley face for missing my Blastoise ability. Um, I think when I was playing this game, I was sitting here like saying over and over, "This guy's going hard against 2 theme decks put together, nerd." And then I'm over here getting mad on Pokemon TCG Online. So my opponent is going to promote that place flying, and he actually is able to hit B string right now, which sucks, dude. I put him exactly 3 prize cards, so that means he's able to spam energy and get a bunch of stuff out. So that's pretty unfortunate. And he's got the charged up, so yeah, this is this is not looking good for me right now. Just because like once this Blastoise goes down, like I really need to try to get another Blastoise set up. You know, like I'm good. I'm in a good position right now, but at the same time I'm not. And if I hit my mic again, I'm gonna scream. So yeah, it's still winnable. It's still winnable at this point. But you guys already know the outcome because I made a gigantic misplay. My opponent is actually gonna Guzma up the Wartortle, unfortunately. So he's gonna take this out, which I'm able to return KO, but but freaking but. All right, so a series of events happen for me to lose this game, and it's going to start with this next turn, as you guys are going to see here in a little bit. So I'm going to promote the Blastoise. So hey, I'm 3 prizes. I knock this out. I go down to 1. I'm going to attach energy to Squirtle. I'm just kind of looking at my discard pile, see what I have in there, and so yeah, I'm going to Brock's Grit here. I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like I should have just played the Cynthia and refreshed my hand to see if I could have hit a Golduck or a Wartortle. I feel like that was a mistake on my part because he's going to return KO me, and then I'm just going to be sitting with nothing. So I feel like that was 100% a mistake. And maybe if I hit something here with if I hit a Wartortle here with Pidgeotto, maybe I have a chance. But still, I feel like that was a misplay on my part. I feel like a couple misplays really hindered me from winning this game. I feel like I definitely could have won this game. But I'm gonna do another 300 damage. Excuse me, I can't freaking speak. Um, so yeah, I just feel like I made some errors in this game. So unfortunately, I was not able to pull out the victory. So that's just how it goes. So he's gonna promote Blacephalon, and I'm sitting here with a Squirtle with 3 energy, a Blastoise in hand, and it is just. Ugh. I'm still kicking myself. I just made so many misplays here towards the end of this game. I played pretty good up until that point. Up until the point of where like I'm just not really doing much. That and on top of that, I should have attached the energies to Psyduck instead of Squirtle. That was the gigantic misplay because I completely forgot about Swim. I completely forgot about Swim. I could have brought up Golduck and done at least 180. I could have came up done at least 180, and yeah, that would have really changed the game. So yeah, I don't know. I made some stupid plays in this game, but hopefully though, this gameplay showed that like You can still do some stuff with this deck. This deck is still very viable. Um, Definitely don't want to forget about your Pokemon's attacks because that's not good. As you can see right there, I'm hovering over Psyduck because I'm realizing what I did. I was like, God dang it. So placefully, Jesus. Basically, at this point, I am forced to use Amnesia if I can draw into Golduck, and hopefully from there I can just Amnesia and hope he doesn't Guzma up my Wartortle. So I'm gonna evolve into Golduck, and now I gotta hopefully hit Timer Ball, hit something off Pidgeotto. I gotta hit something here. Basically, I'm trying to pull something out of my butt, which is basically I'm playing the Timer Ball. I get two heads. I'm like, oh, let's go, let's go. So I grab Wartortle and Blastoise. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I can do this. Please don't have Guzma. Please, please, please don't have Guzma, or I'm going to cry. So I'm gonna go ahead and Amnesia here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just pick out Mind Blowing because at this point I don't care if he does the GX attack. So, it's just one of those things. I mean, basically, I'm just playing. I'm trying to play out of my misplay. I'm trying to do all I can. But I'm like when I was playing this game right here, I just was kind of thinking to myself, it's more likely decided. And there it is. There's the Guzma. He had it, unfortunately. And I'm really, really mad that I couldn't beat this snot-nosed little brat. I was so mad. That smiley face, just that smiley face he sent when I missed that ability. That made me so mad. I don't know why that made me so mad. But yeah, I hit my mic again. Yeah, this commentary has been a nightmare. Like this commentary has been an absolute nightmare. And what's bad is like the typing thing is taken away from Pokemon TCG Online because I would 100% be going the unprofessional route. Like as soon as he sent that smiley face and stuff, I'd been like, LOL, you're going hard against two theme decks. That's all I would have sent. So he's gonna knock out Wartortle. That's pretty much game. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign the video out here, guys. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I put view. That was close. That was the only thing I could say back. But yeah. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. My misplays unfortunately cost me, but hopefully you guys did see in this video that this deck is viable and this deck is a lot of fun. So yeah, if you're wanting to get into the game, Blastoise would definitely be a good theme deck to pick up. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Take care, guys. I love you. And this is Epic Pokemon TCG signing out.